Hey there everyone and welcome to the Accept channel. Recently, the MusicRoom blog, which is the sort of online presence of Hal Leonard in the UK, but they ship all over the world, did an article called The Top 5 Ukuleles for New Players. It's actually dated from May 16th, 2023. And I like going through these. Let's underline some facts here. Number one, they're going to be recommending ukuleles that they carry. So that's the first thing to acknowledge is that there are going to be ukuleles beyond their catalog that could fit into this category, but they're not going to be listed because they don't sell them. And that's got to be okay. It's their blog. They're making a recommendation based upon the stock they have, which is great. Okay, so we're going to just go with that. So let's take a look. The first suggestion here is the Mahalo Kahiko series. And I am going to say that I disagree with this one. That is the model that I began teaching ukuleles with. The strings are awful. They're not well made. The binding was falling off of the sides after a short period of time. I cannot remember if they have side position markers or not. They were made of really, really cheap linenwood. So I would be cautious about that. So just be aware of that. So Mahalo Kahiko series, I would probably say skip as the first ukulele. Let's go to the second one. Second one is Bumblebee Hive series. Now, Barry Maz at God and Ukulele recently did a review of the Bumblebee Hive, and he really didn't like it. There's a few things he really didn't like. The first is its similarity to the Magic Flea as made in the United States. He also, you know, liked the sound of the next suggested instrument better. And Bumblebee is made out of a partnership with Flight and Hal Leonard. And just for full disclosure, I do some part-time work for Flight, and for the other Bumblebee packages, I made a tutorial book. That's my book that's packaged with the other Bumblebees. If you buy a starter pack and you get, the ukulele and the book, I made that booklet. So that was by the way, if you're wondering like if they're returning royalties, there are not. That was a one-time payment for doing that work. And that's now being translated, I think, into its fifth or sixth language as they sell Bumblebee. I don't have problems with it at all. I had a chance to actually play an early model of the Bumblebee and gave them some feedback. There are some things that I think Barry has a good point for, which are maybe different strings. That's easy enough to swap out, but it does change the price point. But I think as a starter ukulele, it's not the worst starter ukulele in the world either. So I don't have a problem with this recommendation. I don't have a personal problem with an ukulele that looks like another ukulele as long as it's not a complete copy. I personally don't have that problem, but I understand those that do. Ultimately, I I think it's okay as a suggestion for a first instrument, although again, I think all of us would suggest different strings. That's something that I do on almost all of my ukuleles immediately. So that's the Bumblebee Hive. Okay, I can see that as a suggestion. The next one is the Flight Travel Series, and that's basically a no-brainer. So with the Flight Travel Series, it's affordable. There's so many of them out there. You can get them in soprano, long neck soprano, or concert variations. They're generally rugged. They can break. We bought 640 Flight Travel ukuleles, the kids version. I also helped package out the kids version for our schools, for our elementary schools to have. We have a set of 40 in every one of our elementary schools in our district. And there are about 5 that have broken where they have been dropped and broken. Now, would wood ones break? Very possibly yes too. So yeah, are they completely rugged? The answer is no. But if you want that ukulele does exist, but it's literally double the price, and then your ukulele project becomes double the price. So I think it is a good, affordable beginner ukulele with really good sound. And again, I would change the strings there too. That's just me, but just be aware. The Flight Travel Series, agreed. The next one is the ANUE UC Color Series, and I have not played one of these, but Barry Maz has, and he really liked it. They're starting at about 138 euros for a concert ukulele. And while that's not a huge amount of money, that's a totally different classification than these other ukuleles that we've been looking at. So yeah, it does say this if you read it long. It says the instrument does come with a more boutique price, but it's worth taking the time to consider to the extent to which this is offset by a sound and design that promotes enjoyment and longevity. You certainly won't be upgrading this anytime soon. Incidentally, about the previous instrument, one of the things I love about the Flight Travel is that if you buy that as your first instrument, down the road, that actually becomes a travel instrument rather than your only instrument, so that then when you're doing something else and you need an ukulele to travel with, you can use the Flight. Whereas with this one, you may not want to travel with it in all places. And by the way, that has a painted front with a pickguard, but then the back and sides are just finished normally with I think it's a mahogany laminate, but I can't remember. And again, I have not played one of those directly. And the last suggestion on their list is the Pure Tone Deluxe Soprano Ukulele, and I don't know this instrument either. Um, it's very inexpensive. I have not seen the Pure Tone Deluxe Soprano. It doesn't look very deluxe from this picture. I don't know if that's a good one to do or not. So I would not recommend it unless I actually played it first. Whereas the ANUE I has enough of a reputation. I know that that's a great recommendation if you've got the extra money to spend on it. The Flight Travel Series, easy recommendation. The Bumblebee Hive, sure. The Mahalo, no, I would not recommend those. But it's fun to read these. So if you ever get a chance, even if you're a long-time ukulele player, it's kind of fun to read through the recommendations, and you can see that they start off by showing you the ANUEs there on the top, and it's different colors. But it's kind of fun to look through and see what's being recommended. And again, this isn't going to cover all the brands. So if you're a Kala fan or Ohana fan, right now MusicRoom only has a couple of Kalas listed, no Ohanas, things like that. It would make sense that they're not going to be listed. So, and the other thing, yes, perhaps people do click and buy right from this article, but it is nice to see a company go out and give some suggestions and to know that at least three of those suggestions are pretty solid for a beginner. I wouldn't argue with them. And then I don't know about the Pure Tone, and I would definitely say no about the Mahalo. All right, it's always fun to do these. If you ever see any other top five ukuleles or best ukulele articles you'd like me to go through, please let me know. I'd be happy to talk about them. And I try to give my honest feedback. And if I don't know an instrument, I'll definitely tell you. But just my gut says stay away from the Pure Tone, but who knows? All right, thanks so much for watching the video. I hope you're having a great day, and I'll be back soon with some more uke stuff for you.